It's St. Xavier versus the Ulysses High School. I don't know if I'm saying that right. St. Xavier is already up 1 in the blue. 2 minutes into the first game, and today I'm joined with Ben. Ben, how's it going?
Going pretty good. Excited to watch some Rocket League. And, oh, got a demolition right there. I can't tell. Okay, assuming STX is St. Xavier.
Yes, STX St. Xavier in the blue, and then I don't know how to pronounce you. How do you say it?
Ursuline.
Ursuline in the green.
Yep.
Twinkle Toes
So
for a shot.
good block from Ursuline. They're trying to keep it on that side. St. Xavier going for a shot right there.
Yeah, really good positioning here from Twinkle Toes. Not fast enough though, and Ursuline really struggling to kind of put them on a different spot. Try to get on the offensive. A lot of defending going on right now from Ursuline. Yeah.
At this point, I think it would be better for. I think it would be better for St. Xavier to play more defense. Like right here, they have seemingly. Yep. I was about to say there's not too many people on the goal to defend. So
Yeah.
with a good opening, so I believe
Nice shot there too. Let's see. 1-1 now. 2 minutes left on the clock. St. Xavier going on the offensive early. Just going to hit the top bar. Can Ursuline? They're panicking. No!
they got it.
They got it. St. Xavier.
Like that, it's basically just who can get to the ball first, and it's a bit harder to defend because you gotta get behind the goal.
Oh, and Ursuline was so close. You could see there. They just barely. If they could have get just a little tap on it.
So I'm interested to see. I'm interested because the coordination seems to be a bit off. I see multiple people charging towards the ball, which isn't necessarily a strategy that I've seen watching Collegiate.
Very true. Kind of a alternative strategy. Mighty Pie going for the shot midfield and gets it. No defenders on the side of.
Xavier. It's gonna be a bit tough, but there's still a minute. There's still a minute and a half around that, and it's a very fast-paced game. So there is definitely a possibility that Ursuline can bring us back.
Definitely. So much can change. It really comes down. I think I heard another caster say it really comes down to that last couple, like 10 seconds. Monarch.
There, Ursuline.
Speaking of,
what was that? An 8-second goal, 14-second goal. So
yeah. I mean, that's the thing with Rocket League, though, right? Is you can play a perfect game, and in 10 seconds it could get all destroyed.
absolutely.
But for the last 5 minutes, you know, before that you could be playing a perfect game, perfect series.
Yeah, I've seen games get to like the multiple dozen scores per game. So
Yeah, me too. Definitely. Let's see.
it's a really nice shot into a very open area. It seems like Ursuline might have some trouble defending.
Yeah, and St. Xavier, they're going to smack it out of there and try to
Yep.
get it upfield, and they do. Dr. Chuckles coming in.
A really good shot from Dr. Chuckles. Oh, wait, no. Not Dr. Chuckles. That's a good shot. Oh, wait, yes, it was. No, I'm still very unfamiliar with the HUD.
Yeah, I'm still figuring it out, too. Oh. Looks like Ursuline are now kind of panicked. They got 30 seconds left on the clock here, and St. Xavier is just going to keep swatting that ball back into the line of Ursuline.
Yeah, Ursuline was able to keep it off of the ball, get control of the ball.
Oh my God, St. Xavier's just forcing their way in, pushing these guys around. Ursuline's going to have one shot here to try to get this back on track for them, and it's going to go right into their defensive corner. 10 seconds left. Dr. Chuckles just misses it. Monarch goes for a shot.
Try to get one more goal and just missed it.
Very
good defense from St. Xavier.
Game one is going to go to Xavier.
I think the big takeaway from that one was offense for both teams was pretty good, but I think St. Xavier just had the slightly better defense. There were a bunch of opportunities that Ursuline had to score, but just couldn't because St. Xavier always had someone there.
Yeah, they did. And you saw that Saint Xavier was so good at the keeping Ursuline back in their defensive. They were really good at their offensive strategy. They were really coordinated. You saw a
Yeah.
lot of Ursuline kind of jumping at the ball at the same time. A little out of it, but I mean, this is not a bad first game. I mean, they seem
No,
like
absolutely
this is
not.
totally winnable for Ursuline. And as the teams discuss, there's going to be a sub for a new player on Ursuline's side. Maybe that could help them win this game as we move into the
Maybe.
second.
Be interested to see the boost usage too.
Definitely. And as we get started here, 5 minutes on the
Urs-
clock.
Ursuline got
Ursuline.
a good first shot, but it's back on their side.
Ursuline in the green. They're going to try to get it upfield early. Mighty Pie able to smack it out. And Twinkle Toes backing them up. Seeing if they can bring it back on Ursuline's half and coordinate a shot. Can they do it, Twinkle Toes? It wasn't even like he did a lot of the heavy lifting there. Mighty Pie. He didn't touch the ball, but he moved Monarch just perfectly enough out of the way to get that goal for Twinkle Toes. And that's our first goal for St. Xavier.
Bit of time between that, a bit of time for that goal, but I think it gave a good sense of what they're up against for Ursuline, especially with a new player being subbed in.
Oh man, that is brutal. Ursuline starting to get frustrated, maybe. Just constantly on the defense. Mighty Pie going for the top Ched there. Nice. You know what they call that, man?
What do they call that?
They call that an upper decky. Look at that. Bam!
Ooh. Good start for St. Xavier, 2-0 in the first minute.
Definitely seeming very energetic.
There's still 80% of the game left.
And Ursuline coming across the only team to have demos so far, which I think is notable. Oh.
It takes a different kind of play style to go for demos, but in some cases, oh, there we go.
There it is.
In some cases, it can be very smart. It basically just removes another line of defense.
And that's going to start to play into this game, especially if you're Ursuline. You want to start thinking about, you want to be focusing on getting this ball in positions like this towards the goal. And when St. Xavier comes in with the demos, it's going to start getting annoying.
Yeah, and now you got to realize, now you have to be hyper aware, not just of the ball, but of the players that are trying to get the demos.
Exactly. Look, and as you can see, Cool Gamer diving in to try to get messed up Twinkle Toes here, but he just seems unstoppable taking the ball upfield. He misses his shot.
Very, very good at evading Ursuline.
Yeah, I mean, Mighty Pie is just kind of unpredictable, and Ursuline's struggling to deal with him in this corner, for sure. Dr. Chuckles ready to send it back. Demo coming out on Monarch on Dr. Chuckles. Some of that annoyance, but oh my gosh, Mighty Pie goes for the shot, and Ursuline says no with the demo.
That's a very good demo. It basically opened up a very clean spot for Ursuline to get in.
Yep, and here it goes, right? Now it's become a game of mentality where, as well as fighting, you have to be hyper aware of everybody, including Twinkle Toes. Midfield goes for the shot, passed by Mighty Pie there. You see he just nudged it very so. Monarch tries to get back and just not enough time. 2-minute 20 on the clock now. 3 goals for St. Xavier, 0 for Ursuline in the second game. Xavier looking very strong, a lot more coordinated than Ursuline, but Ursuline's starting to get in their heads with these demos,
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, at this point, it's just been going back and forth with both teams. Or for I guess 30 seconds that last point, St. Xavier was able to just juggle the ball for a solid 30, 40 seconds.
Yeah. Oh wow, Monarch with the shot.
Ooh,
Oh,
Ursuline
denied.
just barely missing it. St. Xavier getting in just the right angle to defend.
And that also has to be frustrating when you get so close like that. The ball has to 100% get into the goal, and Dr. Chuckles there, picking up what I believe is his second goal. Oh no, first goal of the game.
But that's a good sign for St. Xavier. That means their team is pretty well rounded. I mean, Dr. Chuckles had what, 3 the first game?
Yeah.
So the fact that everyone is able to consistently score like this, it just means that it's going to be even harder for Ursuline to get in. And even with a demo, you still have 2 really solid players that are able to defend their own.
Mm-hmm. And Monarch, you're kind of taking over, trying to get this ball out of the defensive zone. Wasn't successful the first time.
Twinkle Toes kind of staying in the back, getting just keeping an eye on everything. Enough boost to charge in for defense.
Yeah, and you see when St. Xavier kind of all 3 go for the ball, you can see that they all touch it or at least get really close to touching it. When Ursuline goes for the ball, they seem a little more unorganized.
Yeah. It could be a difference of whether or not the teams are communicating properly, or it could be that that St. Xavier has just played more together, so they know what they're gonna do. Right there, you see carrying. It seems like they're going for more of like a stalling kind of play style. They're still pushing towards the goal to make sure it's still on. Yeah, still on Ursuline's side. Yeah. Right there, Dr. Chuckles scoring again.
And I think that's kind of their play style is Mighty is just trying to get in front of the goal, and Chuckles just hangs back, just waiting for that to come in and put the final blow.
Yeah, stalling in this game is a very valid strategy. I mean, the game will always be 5 minutes unless it's a tied point. And oh wow, very quick score. I think just one of those situations where you're catching the other team off guard. They were all grouped together right there. So Ursuline was able to just score, getting it right past them.
Yeah, and at this point, it's going to be extremely hard for a comeback. So, but absolutely. I mean, still, you're going to want to get as many goals as you can. And as they desperately try to send it upfield, they're going to try to keep it alive. And St. Xavier wins the second game, bringing it to match point.
It's always good to keep going for scores, even if you're down with 10 seconds left, because it gives you momentum. I know from being in esports for so long, whether or not you're down, you just keep pushing it because you can gain that momentum, and you'll catch that other player off guard at some point.
Yeah. Well, going into potentially the final match now.
Are they subbing in again, or?
Looks like we're just hopping in. Potentially the final game here, the best of 5. St. Xavier versus... I'm forgetting the name again.
Ursuline.
Ursuline. My mistake. St. Xavier in the blue, Ursuline in the bright green, which I have to say looks very cool. All the players this evening looking very sharp in their cars. And St. Xavier, again, are hot on the attack. Ursuline struggling to get this ball out of their defensive zone.
At least they're able to keep it out of their goal, though. I mean, it's 0-0 right now. If they can just keep it out of the goal, that's kind of all they need.
Mm-hmm. And it's players like Mighty Pie that they're worried about. And as we see, he goes up towards the wall, and Monarch's just going to shut him down because he knows that play.
same demo. But like I said before, St. Xavier has shown that they have two really solid players. So one demo may not hurt too much.
And it's going to be on Ursuline to figure out the coordination there. It goes for a shot. Dr. Chuckle smacks it out. And that would have been the first time that they would have been in the lead.
Yeah. I mean, St. Xavier's been really solid with having the lead for pretty much the whole time. I mean, this is also the longest time between two goals, or I guess before the first goal.
Oh!
It's a very
Ursuline.
clear shot. Ursuline was able to defend. That wasn't too bad of a hit. Right here, it seems like they're just playing the slow game. I mean, trying to get a good opening.
Monarch trying to keep it up.
Yeah, the only problem is that St. Xavier, they're so spread out. It's so easy for one player just to get to the ball really quickly.
I think Monarch's definitely sticking out to me as Ursuline's kind of star player there. And right as I say that, Dr. Chuckles is going to get the ball past all three of Ursuline's players.
That was a long goal too. Yeah, pretty much from half court.
Yep. And that's our first goal of this game. 3 minutes left. Definitely
still plenty of time, and we know that Ursuline is able to score. It's just, can they score and defend?
And Rocket League, well, funny enough, being about cars, a lot of it has to do with momentum.
Yeah.
If Ursuline start to get real here and start to organize just a little bit better, they have a huge chance of knocking St. Xavier off their feet, and it can go south quick.
That was really good defense on that goal, on that near goal right there from Ursuline. Although I don't know how much the 3 cars in the goal is going to help them, but I think it's good that they're able to keep it out of there.
Yeah, Monarch, you can see, he's just working overtime to try to get this ball to stay in this area of the court, the green,
the field,
the server. Mighty Pie going for his wall strategy. He's done this before. Can he do it again? He does.
Ursuline not quite able to defend it there.
Just barely missing. Oh, so close.
They had the right idea. There was someone there, and they boosted up, but I think they just timed it a bit too late, or a bit too early.
Ooh, a miss there from Monarch. He's definitely putting in a lot of work right now to try to get Ursuline some movement. But here we go, Mighty Pie once again. We've seen this shot once before. Oh, Twinkle Toes is going to do that to back him up. Doesn't work out.
Monarch able to defend it. I think it was more of just bumping him away from the goal, or from the ball. But yeah.
And there it is, right?
Yeah, 3-0. It's not over, but it's definitely an uphill fight.
Definitely. 90 seconds left on the clock, or 87, 83. Monarch going for a big shot right off the bat. You can tell he's hot, frustrated, trying to get past these St. Xavier players. Same with Pool Gamer. You can see they're really starting to disrupt and get into the face of St. Xavier. A lot more contact amongst the cars now. Big shot from Mighty Pie.
Not going to be enough. It seems like Ursuline learned and had someone at their goal.
Yeah.
Not something that I saw too much in the first and second game.
Yeah, definitely not. And they're realizing that the things that St. Xavier are doing is they're taking these big shots from far back, and it's just getting past, and they're starting to realize that they can do that
too. No one on, but was that Monarch able to defend it?
Ooh, Monarch keeps control. Can he get it up? He can. Goes for the shot to his teammate.
That actually gave St. Xavier the control of the ball. I think I see one of them trying to get back to the goal to defend.
20 seconds left. It's going to be an all-out free-for-all from the side of St. Xavier here. as they try desperately to make sure that they can get as many goals as they can and just keep it on this side of the field for the next 3 seconds. Maybe get a goal. Now the job's keep it in the air. The game is dead once it
Yeah,
touches
yeah.
the ground, and it's
There we go.
series winner, Saint Xavier 3-0s. And what were your thoughts on that game?
I think I think both teams played very solid. I mean it's clear that St. Xavier just had an overall good a very good team. Each player was able to hold their own. But it, it's good to also mention Ursuline had a lot of good adaptation. First two games were a bit rough in terms of defending. And while I guess this game they didn't score a point, they did have less points scored on them. So it's good to see that they're improving in defense. And I think that's one of the biggest takeaways is keeping a car there, whether or not at the goal or like around that area. I think it's very good to just have someone there to defend.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I think one thing's, I think that the star players for sure in that game was Monarch from the side of UHS and
Absolutely, yeah,
Mighty Pie from Saint Xavier. Also, I think those are definitely the MVPs of this game.
yeah.
Uh,
Monarch was able to get a lot of demos,
yeah,
especially against Saint Xavier, who seemed to be like evading a lot. So
definitely. Yeah, you saw that they were both they were the ones trying to get into the air the most, which typically is that's where your higher skill players can play is up in the air.
yep.
So that's big part of the strategy, and big part is just getting that run up on that wall and trying to get that shot. And yeah, Mighty Pie and Monarch were definitely the two who were trying to get up on that wall as much as they could and battling with each other in the air, which is really awesome to see. But it is first week, right? So if I'm UHS, I'm not too scared. A lot of time to
Absolutely
come
not.
back. Beginning of the year, there's plenty of time to come back, and yeah, I think that's close to all of it from us for now.
Yeah, I mean, I see both teams going very far. Ursuline definitely had things going for them. Um, they could, I think, part of it was they grouped together too much. I think that's a big thing in this game. Grouping together is not necessarily a strategy that you see too often, nor is it extremely good, especially since it's not really optimal to keep two cars on the ball at once. So I think and I saw it in the last game they spread out a bit more, um, and they had one player Monarch going for a lot of demos. I think that's very good.
Mm-hmm.
And they were
Mm-hmm.
playing overall more aggressive, but they were still able to keep that defense going.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that was one thing that if we we need to get a what do they call them? Statisticians,
Statisticians, yeah,
statisticians. Yeah, I can't pronounce anything today. But if you could break down how much UHS was just constantly worried about getting the ball into the out of their defense zone. The majority of the time, the ball was either there or headed in that direction from a
mhm,
some crazy shot from Twinkle Toes in the back.
yeah,
Um, so I think that that's something they definitely need to work on is having more control over the ball because it didn't feel like they. It felt like Saint Xavier just controlled the ball more than UHS.
mhm.
Enough said.
Yeah. I think that got pretty much all of it.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see how both these teams do for the rest of the season.
yeah, definitely. And Ben and I will be joining you guys. Our stream is going to be evolving as time goes on. So, yeah, excited to
Should
see how both these teams go throughout the season.
Yep.
So,
And we should see all around the same time next week. I think game start time is generally 4 o'clock. Both teams request, or either both teams or one of the teams requested to start a bit early.
all right. Well, thank you very much. And I hope that you all have a great rest of the day. We'll catch you next time.